What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? My name is Joe, just your average Joe, hanging out in the garage. Raw and unedited is how we do around here. It is Tuesday. We have only I got six sales. We have didn't do a whole lot between yesterday and today, but we do have six sales to go over, like 123 dollars and change. So nothing crazy. But we got some sales to cover. We'll go over comments from Friday through today. Or yesterday through today. Yes, I guess yesterday through today. Today is Tuesday, so yesterday through today, there you got about six comments to cover as well. So we'll address those. Let me make sure my mic's on. Cool. All right, and that's about it. We're going to be, I think, a shorter video today than normal, and I may drop the unboxing video and get that out there so you guys can see what I picked up or what I did a deal on and over the mail. So. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into again, just to well, I don't think I've said it, but just to introduce myself again. My name is Joe, just your average Joe, hanging out here on YouTube. I've been reselling full time for 8 years, but I've been on eBay since 2000. Long time. So been around a while, know a thing or two. I can certainly help if any of y'all have questions. Any of you new folks that are selling, reselling, or anybody that's been around a while, if you got something you can throw at me to help me out, let me know. But anyway, let's go over some comments first. We'll also go over my deposits because things have been just all over the place. Things have not been super consistent. They've been all over the place. So I'm going to kind of share my deposits. Also to piggyback on that comment from yesterday that was, I forget who said it. They can't believe you can make a living on eBay with all the fees. Well, I'll dive into some of my sales or some of my deposits, my payouts from eBay, and it's been inconsistent. I'll say that it was more consistent back in like last year up to like January, February, and since about January, February timeframe, it's been all over the place. It's been all inconsistent, but making it happen. That's all. It's a grind. It's a hustle, and I enjoy doing it. So it's better than working for somebody else. That's for sure. So anyway, let's start with some questions, some comments. I like to address these live. So these are some comments that were dropped on my previous videos or yesterday's video. First one is coming from, actually first two is coming from Jesus. Jesus says, for the battery, Google used car battery, refurbished battery, something should come up. Good call. I did. Yeah. Okay. So I gotcha. I watched every Average Joe episode twice to the end. Uh, Man, you're the man. I appreciate you, Jesus. That's awesome. The game Silent Hill, huh? The game Silent Hill. So I think you're referring to what was the major pickup on the unboxing. I don't know. You'll have to wait to find out. You'll have to wait to find out. I'll say it's worth more than Silent Hill. It's crazy. I had no idea. Anyway, thank you for the episodes. Congratulations and continued success. Cheers. And then he says, can't wait for the unboxing. So I appreciate that. Let me reply to both of these. Replied on newest video. All right, so let's just copy that real quick and reply. Give you a thumb up and a heart and a thumb up and a heart. All right, so the next comment was Kurt. Kurt's back. Kurt says, yo, average Joe. Yeah, I was up northern Michigan for a week. Well, hey, hope you had a good time, man. Missed a couple of your videos. I wouldn't include both of your batteries. Yeah, I thought about it after I said that. I was like, I probably need to keep one just in case I come, for when I come across the next camera that needs those batteries. So good call. Save one for the next time you come. Yep, for those batteries. Yep. NanoS is new old stock. Got it. New old stock. So stuff that's been retired, discontinued. They don't make no more. That's always good stuff to pick up. Yes. So now I know what you're referring to. New old stock is good. In fact, I picked up some colognes and things like that last week, and like three of them are discontinued. So they're going for like $150+ for some of the colognes I picked up. So yeah, discontinued. And you know what brought me onto that is my wife. Like what brought me to understand and identify that things like that can be worth a bunch of money is when my wife's grandmother used to use a hand cream. I forget the name of it now, but it came in a jar, hand lotion, and it came in a jar, and some sort of medical grade hand lotion or whatever. Well, they discontinued it, like, I don't know, at this point, probably 15 years ago. And my wife, of course, grew up on that stuff because her grandmother used it, so she loved the smell of it. She, and it liked the product. And when they discontinued it, it was years later that we found out that my wife was like, "Oh, I want to get some of that cream," and she jumps online to find it. She couldn't find it anywhere, so then she looks on eBay, and they're selling this cream, a little jar of it, for like $100 and some, and it was just like, what? So that, and then just doing storage units, colognes and perfumes. I got, got educated in those things that are discontinued, that they go for big money. So I can see cosmetic, like makeups and things like that. All that stuff that's discontinued, people really want it. They'll pay for it. Um, it was discontinued brand. It was a discontinued brand that people will pay way more for. That goes $75. I already sold 3 out of the 5 same day. Some from the same lady. 3 out of the 5 to the same lady. Glad to see you had a good sales day on Sunday. Hope it continues for you. It's up and down, man. The train, the roller coaster just keeps going up and down, man. Had a great Sunday. Had a crap Saturday. Yesterday was okay. Today was, it's just, it is what it is. But appreciate you hanging out as always, Kurt. Thank you so much. Let me reply to yours as well. Next one is Yarina says, "Hey Joe, the RV idea is great. The way you think of doing it, yeah, that's just, they have those third party sites that you can rent the RVs." And I was like, instead of, if I can rent my RV out even for 5-6 months out of the year, or 4 or 5 months out of the year, and make the payment for my new RV out of renting it for, a half of the year, give or take, then I mean that's I think that's a pretty good way to go about it. I mean, I got the room for 2 RVs, so I could have one stacked next to the next one, and then whenever the old one gets rented, I can take it wherever it needs to go. Because we camp a few times over the summer, so we're not super active. But when we do go out, we're out for at least like 7 to 14 days. So we go out for an extended period of time. We don't do a lot of 1 or 2 day trips kind of thing, or 2 or 3 day trips. We go out for at least a week or two at a time. Couple times we do sometimes do a 4 day. We'll sometimes go, like if we go down to Myrtle Beach or to Yogi Bear Park, because the kids love Yogi Bear Park. We got one within an hour from us, so those are usually like 3 day trips. They're shorter trips, but anytime we go to the lake, it's at least a week, if not 2 full weeks. So, but yeah, and it's just a thought. I don't know if I'll do it or not, but it's certainly something that's crossed my mind. When we're ready to get another one, to maybe just keep this one and rent it. So, but anyway, ours is a Heartland Pioneer. Ooh, 35 foot. I got a pretty big one, man. There you go. I love it. It's the perfect one for us. I'm 40 years old, married with 2 kids. The girl 9 and boy is 4. I originally from Cuba. Well, that's awesome. I'm originally from Italy, so there's that. Good, good, good. I left when I was 19, and I've been living in Orlando, Florida ever since. Wow, that's awesome. My husband and family are in Virginia, and we go there a lot. But yes, I live in Orlando. Got it. Good deal. The game, Jesus said, Jesus said Silent Hill, but didn't you say wait for the unboxing video to find out which one it is? It is, or it is at that. Anyways, hope you keep grinding with the sales. Yep, well, I will. I'm here. I'm doing it. So today, my plan is to keep putting them up. It's not Silent Hill though, so I'll try to drop that today after I drop this one. Maybe later on this afternoon, or maybe even this evening, possibly. I'll drop the unboxing video just so there's some time between this one falling and then the next one. So I'm not doing like a back to back. I guess I don't know what rhyme. I don't really have a rhyme or reason for that. I don't want to post too often, I guess. But anyway, next one up, Justin. Actually, let's heart you, Yarina. Paste. All right, and next one is Justin says, "Thanks for sharing. You asked me about my items. I mainly sell retro items, source off marketplace. Good place to source. That's a pretty good place to source. But I also do Pokemon items I purchased new years ago. 40% profit average on Pokemon. Pokemon's another animal. You're gonna make a killing off stuff you bought, Pokemon stuff that you bought years ago. That 100%. It's funny you said that. I'm into sports cards, and growing up as a kid, I was into sports cards, and I tell my friends to this day, Man, I wish I'd have done, I wish I'd have gotten into Pokemon cards. Pokemon came out when I was probably like later in high school. Maybe like, or at least when I caught wind of it was probably around maybe 11th grade or so, maybe even senior in high school. So that was like 99, 98, 2000. I don't think it was quite 2000. It must have been my junior year or so. So probably about 98 time frame is when I remember catching wind of Pokemon cards. Um, no, maybe it was 96. Maybe it was my freshman year. Anyway, in high school, I remember the Pokemon cards, and I say to myself now, it's like, man, I should have gotten into those because that's where the big money's at is the first gen and those early or mid 90 late 90 Pokemon cards. So who'd have known? I was collecting Barry Sanders and you know uh, other NFL or basketball, or I mean, although Jordan stuff is great, I do have a lot of Jordan stuff, so that's awesome. Yeah, but it still doesn't get close to Pokemon stuff. So kudos to you there, man. That's but I was also saying I've recently started dabbling in purchasing the newer Pokemon stuff and keeping it in box. So like right now I've got, I don't know, I think it's like 14 unopened boxes and then two special edition boxes of the Pikachu Gold special edition, something that came out years ago, a few years back, and then another one, I can't remember what the other one is, another special edition set. My buddy owns a card shop, so my buddy said, hey, if you got some extra cash, you want to invest in Pokemon, keep it sealed and buy these. And so I bought those boxes that he told me to buy, basically. So I'm kind of leaning on him and relying on his knowledge and expertise that these are the ones, or some of the ones, not like these are like the only ones, but these are going to be some of the ones because they're more rare, they're more sought after, and they only made certain amounts of them. So these are, and they're the ones, some of them are from Japan. So he said these are the ones that you want to leave sealed, and 20 years from now, when you're 60 some years old, pushing 70s, that those may turn you a pretty good profit. So that's what I've been doing recently, is using some of my disposable income to purchase sealed Pokemon stuff with his guidance, because I'm not out there purchasing anything unless he cleared it and said it's good to go, because there's a lot of junk stuff and overabundant stuff, and they're coming out with more and more and more because of the demand and all that. So it's there's only it all of it will have some value as we go, but there's going to be certain things that'll be more valuable, and folks that are in the game and know it and do it every day tend to kind of have that insight and that forward thinking, and also knowing how much of the product, like he only gets allocated X amount of certain stuff, so he knows what stuff is quote unquote limited, like there's only certain amounts of this and certain amounts of that. Pokemon doesn't release what it is and what the doesn't tell you, so he just knows based off of like how much of it he can get. If he can't get a lot of a certain product, then he knows that's going to be something that's probably going to be more valuable because there's not much of it out there. So anyway, like I said, I got a little inside info there, a little inside scoop with him. So that's that's kind of what I've been doing lately. So I'm not looking to get retire off of it by any means, but I would certainly like to, if I can buy something for $500 today and I can sell it for, $5,000 20 years from now, that's a win. I consider that a win. I mean, I can do better than that in the stock market, and there's a lot of other things I can put my money in that can turn my money a lot quicker, and I get that. But you know, there are other ways that I invest my money as well. So it's not, Pokemon cards is on the bottom of that list, obviously. So, but it's always good to dibble dabble because you never know what set that $100,000 card is going to come out of. Maybe it's one of the ones that I have a sealed box of, and sealed stuff sells way better than loose. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not, like I said, it's not a retirement for me by any means, but if I can turn, some disposable income that I have now and that I'm not putting away in stocks or, crypto or, IRAs and just other kind of things like that, for my retirement, then, some of my disposable income also is going towards some Pokemon and football cards still. I still do football cards and video game stuff. I still put my money in some video game stuff. Not so much put my money in it, but keep it for long term. The stuff that I pick and come across. So I do have quite a few bins full of things that I've collected over the years that are just that I don't think you can go wrong with it. They're at least going to hold their value, and instead of going, they're not really going to go down much. So in fact, they should all go up a little bit, not a crazy amount, but should go up a little bit over time. And some of it may go down over time. I mean, it's just like anything else. Some goes up, some goes down. But it's good to park your money there, because otherwise I'm going to just spend my money on stuff. And so it's good to kind of park your money in stuff, whether it's got a great return or not. Sometimes it's just, diversify. So whether it be stocks, bonds, mutual funds, uh, Pokemon cards, cryptocurrency, you know, stock market, IRAs, football cards, video games, old 80s toys, wherever I want to park my money, that's my business. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's how that's, you guys be diversified. Being diverse means you can also put money in stuff that is not traditional, like Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? If it tanks, it was disposable income to begin with. So it's I wasn't like banking on it to retire on, right? So all them trolls out there, don't start blowing up my comments like you're gonna put your money into Pokemon cards and hope to get rich later. Like, no, that's not the plan. So don't think that that's what I'm saying here. Trolls, keep on rolling, keep on scrolling. Anyway, Justin, appreciate that. Let's keep going. Let me reply to yours. And then the last one, it's K Today. He's a new subscriber. It's K Today. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you subscribing. He says, love the video. I'm a new reseller and subscriber and trying to learn more. Well, it's K Today. If I can help you in any way, I've been around the block a few times and some. I've been doing this for 24 years, basically selling and buying on eBay. And I've been selling full time on eBay for at least 8 years now. So again, I've been through a lot of different things. If I can help at all, or just, give you some insight, I try to drop nuggets on my videos to, so all of my videos, I feel like are going to have a little something, or at least most of them will have a little something that resellers can kind of grab to or think about, or maybe use, or at least get your gears turning a little bit on, oh, I didn't think of that kind of thing. So, that's the whole reason I'm doing this, to be honest with you. I mean, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking to you guys because my wife doesn't want to hear about my sales and rant and rave about eBay and stuff. So, I can do it with y'all, and I'm here anyway, so I might as well take a few extra minutes out of my day and do this. And it takes 2 seconds to post. The editing is what takes forever, and I'm not an editor, so that's why this is all raw and edited. Sometimes I stick my foot in my mouth and I lose my train of thought or ramble a little too much. There's no editing, man. We're all raw and unedited around here, so it's the real me. But I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you for enjoying the videos. Thank you for subscribing. And if there's anything I can help with, like I said, just drop it in the comments. I like to reply live. I think you get better. I can articulate things better discussing it live. So again, any questions or anything that you have that you want to ask or whatever, I'm here to help. So welcome aboard. I'll go ahead and throw that. Welcome aboard. There you go. It was the generic reply was welcome aboard. I thought I had one more comment. I thought somebody else left another comment about. Let me refresh this. I thought there was one more comment. Yeah, somebody had dropped. Maybe they deleted it, or maybe I touched on it already. Somebody had put a comment on one of my videos about returns or something along those lines. Yeah, somebody had put a comment about returns, I want to say. Was it this one? I don't know. I'm gonna have to find it and reply to it. There was a video. I saw a comment come through and I don't see it now for some reason. So I don't know whether. Oh, there it is. Blake. There you go. I'm not sure why it just popped up. Okay, so it's Blake says, "Can you share something interesting? Can you share some interesting return experiences and how you dealt with them?" So Blake, let's see. Man, you put me on the spot. I'm trying to think of some. Can you share some interesting return experiences? I mean, I can't say off the top of my head that I have any like interesting return experiences. I mean, I've had some Yahoo's return stuff that shouldn't have been returned. I mean, that happens. So you just kind of mentioned before, you just roll with the punches and just relist it and keep it moving. There's no sense in arguing or fighting the customer or putting yourself up for a potential bad review. Just accept the return and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Um, I would say possibly I had one PS2 that got returned 2 different times. They both customers said they didn't work, and I both times got it back, tested it, and they worked. So sold it the third time, and that customer didn't say nothing. It was good to go. I wouldn't say that's an interesting return. I can't really think of any interesting returns at the moment. But like I said, in the previous video, and when it comes to just returns in general, the best way to handle it is with grace and put your customer service hat on. Pretend you're on the other side, and how can you make it easy for that person to just send it back, give them their money back, keep it moving. Sometimes it's better just to refund the money. Sometimes, like yesterday, I had a situation with a guitar on a Guitar Hero. I may have mentioned this in the other video. In fact, I think I did mention this in another video. I had just had a return recently for I'd sold a Guitar Hero with 2 guitars. Sorry for the sun. I'm trying to keep my head in the spot so y'all don't get the glare. But Guitar Hero with 2 guitars, the drums, the microphone, all that, and the guy says one of the guitars doesn't work. Well, I'll be honest, I don't test those. There's certain things I just don't test. So he said the guitar didn't work. Well, he opened a return. I'm like, well, hey, how can I make it easy for him? I'll tell you what, here's some cash to buy one. He wanted way more cash than you could buy one for. So I was like, I tell you what, how about option B? I'll just purchase one, have it shipped to you. How about that? And he was cool with that. So, just thinking outside the box, but essentially, how can you handle the situation to where you're not getting totally screwed over, because that's going to happen sometimes, or a way you can resolve the situation without actually having the item returned. I tried to do that, the latter of the options. I tried to find a way to have them keep the item, whether I have to refund it. Sometimes it just comes down to how much was it? Was it like $15? Just keep it. Here's the money back. I'm not worried about the $15. I probably picked it up for $1. So it's whatever. Am I out the shipping? Yes, it is what it is. But technically that, it's, if the dollar amount goes up, then maybe consider other options, partial refunds, buying up the part or piece that may have broken or may not be working, or whatever the case is. But just try to make it as easy for the customer as you can is my best recommendation. I wish I could give you more examples, because I have a ton of them. I just can't think of any at the moment, as far as interesting returns, or what you would think is interesting, but I can't really think of any. So I don't get a ton of returns. I don't get a ton. I would say the ones that are the more the interesting, or are the just, I guess, that PlayStation one. Like, that was just weird. Like, 2 different customers telling me it didn't work, and then both times it worked. And I'll send a message back and be like, hey, I just got the item back. It fired up, no problem, and send them a picture of it working. And I'm like, I don't really know what the issue was. I do get some returns that then I never hear nothing from them. They open a return and then they never return it. That happens sometimes too. But again, I wouldn't say that's interesting. But anyway, hopefully that helped you out a little bit, or gave you some insight, or yeah. But if you have any other questions, I'm here to help. All right, so there's that reply. So Blake, again, appreciate you hanging out and being part of the channel. Let's move on to sales real quick. So sales have been up and down, up and down, up and down. As y'all know, if you've been with me before, my goal is $200 a day, $1,400 for the week. Some days you're going to only sell $20 worth of stuff. Other days you're going to sell $700 worth of stuff. As long as it's $1,400 by the end of the week, I'm in good shape. It hasn't quite been that way in the past few months. It's been very inconsistent. I've been having some really good weeks, and I've had some really bad weeks. So I'm going to kind of go over my sales, and also this is also a reply to the comment about how can you make eBay a living, especially with all the fees. Well, I'm about to show you, at least, from my perspective, I'm definitely not rich by any means, but I do this for a living. Now, granted, I also have another source of income that I do full time as well, so that helps. But at the end of the day, you can see, just by some of my numbers, that this can happen. That you can make money doing this, and you got to remember that I have a fraction of cost in these numbers. So, like, if I say I made $1,400, I probably have $200 in that, maybe $300 in that. Like, it's not like I'm putting in $700-800 to yield the $1,400. You know what I mean? So that's another misconception. I've got a couple guys, a couple of my buddies were like, yeah, aren't you, like 50%? Well, 50% is good. If that's not bad. If you spend 100 and make 200, that's 50%. That's not bad. But 9 times out of, well, I'm not gonna say 9 times, but I'd say probably 70% of the time, it's more like you go in $1 and you make 30. You go in $5, you make 50. You go in 100, you make 300-400. I mean, I'm looking to 3 4 5 times my money. Is it going to happen all the time? No, but that's how you ensure that it's going to work, and ensure that as you get to a point where you can source well, that you put yourself in a position where the margins are there to you're in like I said, $1 to make 30 or 40. I mean, that's a pretty good turnaround. That's a pretty good turnaround. You do that enough times, you know what I mean? You're doing pretty good. So, but anyway, just to kind of share my payouts for the past, I don't know, I'm going all the way back to April, and just to show you guys how inconsistent this thing is. It's wild. So we'll go all the way back to April. So April, I dropped April 2nd. So it's a week every week. I get a deposit every week. I get a payout from eBay. So again, remember my goal is 1,400 a week. So just listen to these numbers. So April 2nd, 1755. April 9th, 1364. April 16th, 2470. April 23rd, 982. April 30th, 832. Whatever day that is, that would be May 7th, I guess it is, 2043. The 14th of May, 1321. 21st of May, 1971. 28th of May, 1116. 4th of June, 1146. Now, granted, I was on vacation that time. No, actually, yeah, and then coming back off of vacation, June 11th, 457. Terrible, absolute terrible, trash. June 11th, this is when I was like, man, what's going on? Another 457 week. Like, are you kidding me? Then it ramped up again, June 18th, $2,010. June 25th, 733. July 2nd, 794. So again, two weeks in a row, 794, 733. And then my latest payout, 1401. So that just dropped today, 1401, July 9th. So again, it's all over the place. It's up and down, up and down. $400 weeks are terrible. $700 weeks are terrible. That's $100 a day. I mean, that's my absolute minimum. But man, I want to be at that 14 plus. That 2,000 a week would be amazing. But it's sometimes it's rough to keep that number high like that, especially when the sales are slow. But that just gives you an idea. It's up and down all the time. Certain things can play a factor, but it's so inconsistent. I set a goal of 1,400. That's what my goal is. That works for me and my family. You can scale this as high as you want, as much as you want to put in, and as low as you need it, based on if you have another job already full time working 40, 50 hours, you could do this 10 hours a week and make an extra few $100s a week. I mean, which is an extra $1,000 a month kind of thing. I mean, that's, maybe even $1,200 a month. That's doable. So definitely, yes, I'm still kind of going back to that reply. It blows me away that people don't think you can make a living doing this. Like, I mean, now if out of $1,400, I was in 1,000 and only really made $400, man, that's a problem. That's not sustainable. I mean, I guess if you don't need but like $400, I guess that might be sustainable. But obviously, out of that 1,400, I'm probably in on those items less than $200. So that real profit margin after fees and shipping and all that is about $1,200, give or take. It's not bad. I mean, I'll take that all day. Times 4 is $4,800 in a month. After everything is said and done, after I purchased, after fees, after everything, 40. That's not terrible. It's like 60 grand just off eBay, and that's after it's all said and done. After everything is done. After your purchasing, your shipping, your fees, your taxes, all of it. Maybe not taxes. I still got to pay income tax off that stuff. So that's a little bit more does come out of it, obviously, but for income tax. But I do also try to offset that with like gas mileage, purchasing. Then you try to offset that. If you know the game a little bit, a lot of stuff can be expensed. So therefore, you're not going to pay as much in taxes because it's not technically all profit, right? So, anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Let's go over sales. So let's jump on that. I want us to keep this around 30-ish. We're already at 29. Keep it around 35-ish minutes. I only have 6 sales to pull, so this won't take too long. Oh, did the mail lady already come in? Oh man, it is 12 o'clock. Oh, that's terrible. All right, let's go over some sales. I think that is her. First thing that sold was PS3. Metal Gear Solid 4. Metal Gear Solid 4 for PS3. So that sold for $10 plus shipping. And again, sales is only 123 bucks between yesterday and today. So not a ton. Echo Dot without the power plug. It is pretty much brand new, but it's without the power plug. I picked this up for $1. So for 15 plus shipping. I just got an offer on Mario Kart. Hey, there we go. So these Tetris, the Tetris plug and play controllers. It's you basically just plug it in through the AV cable on your TV, and it battery operated, obviously, and you're playing Tetris on, and you're off and running. So that sold for $19 plus shipping. Next thing that sold was this. I've had this for a while. I'm surprised it sat so long, to be honest with you. But Silent Hill, wow, and we were y'all just mentioned Silent Hill, but no, this is Silent Hill UMD, the movie. No, this is the game. Is this the game or the movie? It's rated R. I guess it's the movie. I don't know. Konami? Yeah. Anyway, UMD Silent Hill sold for 25 plus shipping. So let's see. Next thing that sold was a Game Boy GameCube cord cable. GameCube Game Boy cord sold for 15 plus shipping. And then the last thing that sold is a DS game. Oh my goodness, that was almost really bad. That was almost really bad. Okay. I know something else fell. I got to find it. Something else fell. I felt it. All right, I'll look for that off camera because we're pretty much done. Okay. The last thing that sold was super whatever that says, super something, super Scrabble knots 2DS, so for $8, free shipping on this one. So there's that. That's it. I just got an offer on Mario Kart. It is getting warm, ladies and gentlemen. It is certainly getting warm. What I get an offer? So I got it up for $17.09. They offered me 14. I'm going to make a counter for 16 and see if they take it. They'll probably counter at 15, and I'll probably take it. So that we'll find out tomorrow because there's that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those are the sales. That's the payouts. Those are the questions. I didn't have a whole lot of nuggets to drop this episode, but if y'all have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, especially if you're new to reselling. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions or address any situations that you happen to be going through. In fact, I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. So, but that's it for me today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Hopefully your sales are going amazing. Hopefully mine pick up. My plan today is to actually put a bunch of stuff up on eBay. I got a bunch of inventory laying around. So, the only way to keep making that money and keep pushing is to keep doing exactly that. Keep grinding, keep pushing. So, and keep putting stuff up. So anyway, in fact, I actually got I do have something to share real quick. I did, one of my, oh, there's my mail lady. Let me go talk to her. I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see y'all tomorrow.